University in the Department of Horticulture. Today we're going to be showing you a specific technique for evaluating growing media for your transplant production. But to introduce the project first, we are looking at two different techniques for growing vegetable transplants. The first of them being the traditional growing in these plastic flats, and we are comparing it with the soil block technique, which creates these freestanding blocks instead of using the plastic trays. So this is a grant that's funded from the North Central SARE, a graduate student research project. And we are, not only are we comparing the two different techniques for growing the transplants, we are also comparing 5 different growing media. So one of the ways in which we can evaluate growing media is by doing what's called the pour-through method. So in the pour-through method, what we want to do is start with your tray, or it can be with an individual pot with a plant in it. And we want it to be fully saturated, so watered to the point of capacity. And then what we do is we will elevate the pot or the tray. So you can see here we're just using a plastic saucer, which you might use for collecting the water underneath your pot, but anything so that it's elevated. And then we're going to be pouring through a certain amount of distilled water. So we want to use, depending on how large the container is, we will add different amounts of water to it. So there's a really nice publication from the North Carolina State University Extension, where they have a table which can help you determine how much distilled water you want to add depending on the size of your container. But for the size of our area, we are going to pour in 75 milliliters. And we want to get out at least 50 milliliters of the leachate. So we have our 75 milliliters, and then we just want to pour it into your pot or the cells, and then wait for it to entirely soak through. And then you can see the leachate is what is dripping out the bottom. So this is what we're going to use to measure our pH and our EC. So in this way we can evaluate the growing media. The pH is really important as it impacts what nutrients are available to plants. And the EC is the electrical conductivity. So this is a measure of the dissolved salts in the leachate, which can help us determine the amount of nutrients in the growing media. So you can see we've done a few of them already. We have 5 different growing media, and you can see just how different the leachate looks between the different growing media. So the darker the color generally means the higher the EC, or the electrical conductivity, and the lighter the color, the less concentrated those nutrients are. So once it's entirely dripped through our tray, we generally just take it and pour it into one of these beakers. And then we'll bring it up to our lab, and we have a meter which can measure the pH and the EC. Or you can have it sent to a lab where they can evaluate it as well. So thank you, and I hope you learned something new today.